Step 2. Learn to build a basic grid. The object of the game is, of course, to get a life. And you do that by getting as many life goals as possible, as these are worth points. The idea is to build a life goal grid in front of you. Have a look at the picture of the life goal grid and the rules. The object of the game is to build that grid. The first deck contains all the cards you can see in the Gettalife grid in varying amounts. There are 4 knighthoods, 4 legends, 4 hard knocks in each column or suit, 8 silver spoons, 4 damage cards, 4 each of the blue rimmed cards, 3 orange, 2 silver and 1 gold. As you will see later, it is harder to build your grid upwards, but that's the challenge. Let's look at the grid sheet. Remember, the idea of the game is to build that grid. The person with the best grid at the end of the game, the most number of points, wins. Let's have a closer look at the grid. You can see at the centre there is a 4x4 grid. You are trying to build that grid by starting at the bottom with blue rimmed cards and building to gold at the top. You can see the value of the life goals at the side of the grid. These are the life goals that you need to score points and to win the game. How do we build the grid? We do this by starting at the bottom and working our way up. You can see the points at the side of the grid, 5,000, 10,000 and so on to the top. You start your grid by placing blue rimmed cards down in front of you. If you don't have a blue rimmed card at the start of the game, you will have to discard something else. Throw out a silver spoon, say. It's not worth any points. Throw it face up into the trash next to the deck. When you have a blue rimmed card, this is how the grid is built. Now we are building the grid quickly. Of course, each of these cards would represent a separate turn. To build to the next level, you need the card underneath. See how you build from the bottom. But notice, once you've built to the next level, you can play any card on that level. However, you can't build up unless you've got all the cards underneath. See how the player has built to the silver level? Unfortunately, he doesn't have all the cards underneath to allow him to get to that level. Therefore, he cannot play this card. The silver card is played correctly in this instance, as the player has all the cards underneath. He's now able to play any silver card. Therefore, the silver experience can now be played. There is an instance where you can play more than one card at a time during your turn. If you have a blue and orange card in the same suit, for example, a blue and orange relationship card, you may play both of these cards in one turn as they are of the same Gettalife suit. Similarly, as part of this rule, you can play 2 blue cards on top of one another at the same time, as many of the same suit as you can, as long as they are in the same suit of life. You can play the blue and orange card, but you can't play the gold card unless you've built up elsewhere. The normal grid building rules apply. That is, if you had built to gold elsewhere, then yes, you could do this. Yes, you can play the blue, orange and silver card, as that is the normal grid building rules. The result of this means you can end up with less than 5 cards in your hand. Pick up to 5 cards in your next turn. If you have only 3 cards in your hand, pick up 2. 4 cards, pick up 1. This is a very handy way of picking up more than 1 card and helping you get a life. Please note, if you forget to pick up on your turn, tough luck. You'll have to wait till your turn comes around again.